This is not financial advice. I just told you a bunch of other myths, baby, because it's about to get hot in the kitchen. I got a huge opportunity that's coming up in the next 2 days, but not for me, for the whole stock market. So make sure you stay locked in and talk to a licensed financial advisor in your area, because investing carries risk, and YouTube thinks these videos are harmful and dangerous. So this is just for entertainment, educational purposes only. But here goes something that's very educational, and I like to say entertaining. We just made $1,200 on an AMD call option, which I teach you call options and how to run those. So sign up to KGU. That's as simple as I can tell you. Do not miss out. The link is in the top of the description. I got some people who I wanted to love on my favorite part of the video. Show them some love by putting a 100 in the chat. This is X, and he just said, thank you, Keenan, for the AMD option today. This was the best for me this year. He just made an additional $1,200 as well. And my guy Truman, who just said that KGU, we printing on both shares and options. Thank you. Whether you are a beginner and you just started trading, or you've been trading for the last 30 years, I'm telling you the information. You got to be willing to invest into yourself. Sign up for the annual membership, and that's going to get you 39% off the top. Family, lock in. I see you over there. But I want to put this one on your radar, which I put on the family's radar already, and it's ticker symbol CLS. This is Celestica, I want to say is the name. I've never heard it said out loud, but I've been doing my research on this company, which I'll share with you. If you know how to say it, you can let me say it in the chat. I'm not going to be offended. It's cool. But what I know is how to look into a company and to see if it's any good. Let's look at this. It's a $200 stock, but the company itself is actually not that big. When you look at the company size, you see that it's a $23 billion company. And now that sounds like a lot, but there are other companies like Apple, like Nvidia, that are 3 trillion, 4 trillion. So this is actually not that big of a company. So it still has the potential to grow. And I'm gonna put you up on why I think this one still has potential to grow, but you don't wanna buy it at just any price. You wanna get it at the right prices. And I'll tell you what I believe those are based on the research. When you look at their earnings, you can see that they've been knocking it out of the park for the last 5 times in a row. Think about earnings like this. If you run a lemonade stand, and actually your kid is running a lemonade stand, and you tell them, hey, I'm gonna give you $50. You go start this whole business up. You might expect them to make $100. You might expect them to make $200. What if you see that they're making $1,000 in a single day off of that lemonade stand? They blowing your expectations out of the water. And this is similar to what this company has been doing. Wall Street think they're gonna do this, and then they doing this. Boom. And then they doing it time and time and time again. Let's look at the trends. I noticed something that was somewhat odd. When you look at Robinhood trends, you can see the insiders, if they're buying it or not. These are the people at the top. And just in June, they started picking some more of the stocks up. Remember, insiders, the people who are running a company, are often investors and not people who are just trying to trade in and out of it, because they could get in trouble for insider trading if they get caught doing it. So I say that to say, since we see this little green level popping up all the way on the right side, we can see that the insiders are starting to load up on this. Like I said before, when you look at the income of the company, but in this case, the revenue, their financial estimates are this orange line, but notice how this blue line is taking off way above the estimates. So they keep blowing those estimates on how much money they're gonna make out of the water. They $200 right now, but we might get hit with an opportunity to buy things at significantly better prices. Here's one. Institutions like to buy it when it's under 190. They also like to buy it when it's about 170. So if I see these things happen, I'll be willing to grab a position, if not even an options position, but also the stock. Here's that opportunity that I was telling you about. And I want to tell you, hit the like button if you haven't done so already, so this information is shared. I want to get this video to at least 1,000 likes, and I want to do it quick, family. Let's help the algorithm help the video out so the message is spread across the internet. The news is the FOMC meeting is going to happen tomorrow, and the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, is going to decide whether to cut rates, hike them up higher, or keep them unchanged. I did my research on this one. Like I told you, this is that opportunity, and I'm going to show you the 3 possibilities. 2 of them give you a chance to buy low, and then the last one give you a chance to run with the market, and I'll show you exactly what. But I want to just give you the spoiler alert. They're saying when you look at the futures contracts right now, which is what the market often uses to determine how are institutions trying to play this FOMC meeting. And sometimes they get it wrong, but they said there's a 98% chance that there's no rate change at all. However, remember, this is probably what's going to happen. Nobody can tell the future, but Donald Trump has been adding a lot of political pressure onto Jerome Powell. We want to see if he folds under the pressure and decreases the rates, or if he tries to stand in what he believes and hold the rates. I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but I'm going to tell you, depending on his decision, how we're going to look at it. Take a screenshot of this right here. There are 3 possibilities: red, yellow, and green. The rate increase historically, if they do that, this is going to give us between a 2 and 4% drop on the market, but it's usually short term. That's a huge opportunity. A lot of these tech stocks that you've been looking at that have been running up on you that you haven't been able to get in because you've been waiting for them to drop, this will give you a nice entry on them. If they do a rate hold, then we might get a 0.5% drop, maybe 1% drop around there. That's a decent drop for a short-term pop right after that. So we would like to see that. But here's what a lot of people would really like to see is if we get a rate decrease, which is likely going to make the market rally 3 to 5%. Now you're thinking to yourself, 3 to 5% rally, that's not even that great. When you think about the whole market moving up 3 to 5%, that means the hot stocks, the tech stocks, the swing trades, they're going to move up 10%, for example, 12%, for example. If we get that rate decrease, the exact opposite can happen, where you get those kind of more hot plays that drop like 6%. So be ready and tapped in for what's going on tomorrow. So I hope that you tapped into KGU so you can see what I'm doing with exactly what information we get based on the rates. Then I want to show you some plays that you got to keep your eye on during all of this. The first one is AMD. We've been absolutely killing it and dominating with AMD. I hope you caught in on the ride. If you did, write AMD on the chat. AMD, I like this one right now. It's at 177, but institutions like it a lot under 175. I really like it there. I want to put this one on your radar too. We've been trading this one since it was like $20, since it was like even $9. Palantir, 150. She's went all the way up a little higher than this, but she's been coming back down. And if we get another chance, like she get hit with those rate hike interest rates, for example, which very likely won't happen. But if that did happen, then boom, it will come down significantly and we could load up on it, boom, even more. You got to appreciate the dips. A wise man once said, when they panic, we pounce. And we got to think about how if everybody else is running from the market, that's when we should be running towards it. Palantir, institutions like this at about 153. We look at the demand zones. That's where we want to buy it. We don't want to be buying it and getting mixed up with all of the retail investors who keep trying to buy the dip, but they don't know what they're doing. We want to buy it when institutions buy the dip. Next is Nvidia. It's currently 175, but I really like this one under the 170s. For example, where institutions like it at 167. Not every support level is made the same. Meaning when the stocks come down and they bump up a little bit, it's not all made the same. Sometimes retail investors is making it bump up, but when the institutions, what is an institution? Your big banks, your big investors, where they buy, they make it happen, family. So that's where I want to buy it at. And they don't always get it right, but they often control the market. And I want to buy it when the people are in control and I can see what they're doing because I'm paying attention. I'm studying the price action. And APLD, which is currently $10, I would prefer to buy it at $9 where the institutions are buying it. But I have a trick for my people who are a little more seasoned in trading. So if you're not, maybe you watch this section a little bit further back. I would like to get 100 shares of this at $9, but there's a way to get paid a small amount to be able to go and load up on it. How do I do that? I would sell a put option, August 1st expiration, which means I'll get a small fee. I'll get to collect that fee of $18 if I'm willing to buy 100 shares at $9 by August 1st. Let's say it never comes down to that level. Then I just get to keep the $18 and I get to keep all of the money that I would have spent buying 100 shares. And I'll consider if I want to do it again. Family, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I see y'all in the next one. Sign up to KGU so you could get in on that year membership. I'm telling you, the time is now. These next weeks are going to be insane. Make or break weeks, family. I see you on the next one. Take care.